Okay. Hello, welcome to Lost in Phoenix podcast. My name is Seamus McMahon. Today I am joined by Powers. How you doing, bud?
Doing great, bro.
Yeah, as always. Thank you, Michael. And Michael Anderson.
I'm Michael Anderson.
How you doing, bud?
Not related to Neo.
Yeah, Mr. Anderson.
Mr.
I
Anderson.
presume.
Welcome. So today we're going to be talking about like musical influences, kind of, I guess, getting to know Michael a little bit better.
I'm alright, I'm cool.
Yeah. Because we talked about our musical influences and writing styles, me and Josh, a while ago.
Yeah.
Not too long ago. Considering we haven't recorded a lot of podcasts since then, but
Yeah.
we're getting there. But it's time to do Michael.
Yeah, it's time to
Time
do
to
you,
do me,
Mike.
babe.
Yeah, let's do you.
How do you feel about that? Let's do you.
Two guys getting ready to do me?
Oh my God.
Alrighty.
Oh my God.
Sorry, it's supposed
So,
to be
Mikey, what are
PG.
some of your early influences? How old were you when you started playing music?
I mean, off the rip, Duran Duran.
Duran.
No. I guess the main guy that really got me to push me to play my acoustic guitar, the reason I bought my first acoustic guitar was Ace Enders, who is the frontman of the Early November.
Okay.
The song specifically Ever So Sweet, which I have tattooed on my body, not in the greatest spot, I should say.
Is it on your butt?
You wish.
Yeah.
It's on the side of his penis.
Oh yeah.
It's above it.
Oh,
even
oh,
better.
yeah, that's right.
Oh
Yeah.
shit.
Literally. I'm an emo guy at heart. I love all sad music. It makes me happy. That song, I don't know why, it was just so emotional, and I guess being a teenage boy and being sad all the time just really grabbed me and made me want to write sad music and make beautiful chords with my acoustic guitar.
But before that, you'd obviously been exposed to like all sorts of different music, like on the radio. And,
Yes, of course.
Yeah, but that was like specifically the
That's what really
that song you heard it. Was it the first time you heard the song that just caused you to?
I think the first time I heard that song, I probably would have been the first time I got off as a child, I say. No. No, I don't know. I don't remember the first time I heard. I still can't even figure out how I found them as a band, which boggles my mind. But it happened for a reason. I've seen that band 2 or 3 times now. I got to meet all the members, all great guys, had great conversations with them. And I still love them to this day. Also, although I will say I'm a little let down with their newest album.
Okay.
Which that sucks when that happens, your favorite band. But it happens, I
It's
guess.
just hard to keep putting out great content.
Yeah.
feel.
Not that it's not great, it just didn't grab me as their
Yeah.
old stuff does.
That seems to be the main problem with a lot of great bands. Like most of the bands that I really like, and I'm sure everybody that likes music can relate to this.
Oh,
you
for
know,
sure.
You're
yeah.
so inspired and so touched by music, certain bands, and then they just, you hear they have a new album coming out, and you're like, it's not that it's not good. There's probably a couple great songs, but it doesn't grab you in that same way. I know exactly what you're talking
Yeah.
about. I think it's
definitely.
like,
Yeah.
yeah,
When that song can give you chills every single time you listen to it,
yeah.
that artist is doing something right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard to do. But so you still obviously love them. You have their tattoo above your holiest
Yes,
of
I do.
areas. That's funny that you showed it to them too.
Yeah, they loved it. They loved it.
That's awesome.
Hopefully they weren't lying. I hope they really loved it.
Okay, so who? I'm sorry. How old were you when that?
Man, I had to have been, let's see, 13 or 14, I would
13 or
say.
14?
Yeah, in which I found the Early November after they had broken up. So I was
Oh.
devastated. Oh, I found my favorite band. I could never see them again.
Oh wow.
But then they eventually had a reunion tour and wrote new music, and I then had seen them multiple times.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a great experience.
Okay, so you got your guitar and you started playing early November songs and started writing emo stuff.
Yeah, of course.
But like, what were some of the other like breakthroughs you had? Like some of the other artists that came in, entered maybe later in the picture that kind of helped you evolve.
Not even later, if I could say beforehand, like what really drove me to like rock music, to generalize it, was Break the Cycle by Stained and
okay.
Hybrid Theory, of course, by Linkin Park.
Oldies but goodies.
Yeah, I mean, I sat in my room for days upon days blasting these albums.
Sonically, both of those albums are so good, so well recorded,
Yes,
and so
and
powerful,
yes.
especially Hybrid Theory.
Oh yeah, man.
It's a great record.
being a young kid screaming those lyrics in my room,
Yeah.
not knowing what half of them meant. Yeah.
Yeah, those early fucking, like, what would you call those? Like, pop punk, hardcore pop punk style.
Yeah, I
Linkin
guess. I
Park
mean,
and
some of
Breaking
I think
Stained,
they were
Benjamin.
considered new metal.
Oh
some
yeah,
of
you're
Stained,
right. Yeah.
some of Stained's stuff on that album got pretty heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there were
They
some
were a
heavy
heavy
riffs.
band before they made that. I think,
Yeah.
like the late 90s, they were like covering Tool and shit.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, now Aaron Lewis, he does country, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw him actually.
Oh,
I was working at
nice.
I was working out at this venue, and then he just happened to be there, and I'm like, I wonder what that's gonna be like.
He played by himself?
Yeah, well, yeah,
Oh.
like a band.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
Backing
it's
band.
good shit though.
Nice, I bet.
It was not bad. Not as bad as I thought.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
That's cool, though.
Okay, so Stained and Linkin Park, and then when did you start writing your own stuff?
Oh, man. First song I wrote, which I've showed you guys, that Frozen Over song. I probably wrote the riff for a couple years, probably started it. That's how it usually goes with all my songs.
Yeah.
And I'd say I was probably 18 when I finished my first song. Like, actually finish it and could play it for someone.
Okay.
Yeah. But other than that, I mean, I had riffs here and there, but never put them all together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It seems to be. I had this kind of the same experience in my late teenage years. Like I have just a riff here or there, but then it's just kind of like it's a whole different craft or skill set to put it all together. I think.
Lacked.
What?
You lacked. I lacked
Yeah.
it for a while.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
It's hard to do. It's one that you're happy with. Writing a good song is just it's like capturing lightning in a bottle, as my buddy Seamus said a few podcasts
That's
ago.
That's a good way.
Yeah.
Okay, Seamus, how about you, man? When did you start playing?
Man, when did I start playing? I was
Yeah.
probably 11 or 12, I think.
Yeah.
I started playing because I wanted to.
Yeah.
Like, from
Most parents force their kids.
yeah, most parents force their kids, or it's like, oh, there's this girl who I like, and I want to impress her or something like
Yeah.
that. For me, it was just like, no, I just want to play.
I'm trying to jam.
Like, I listened to a lot of Beatles music, and I was like, okay, I like how they play, so I want to learn how to play that sort of stuff.
That you got from the garage sale, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice.
And I tried learning before, but it never really took too much because it was always in like an open environment, and somebody from the neighborhood just kind of sat down. Like, we had a neighborhood pool,
Yeah.
and there was one dad in the neighborhood who was a musician. It was pretty prominent.
Yeah.
And he would try and teach me guitar, like at the pool.
Oh,
and
was
it
he
never
like
worked
a
out.
prominent teacher, or like just like a local? Like,
He's just a local band guy,
Okay.
and he was just known for being able to play really well.
yeah.
So I started like trying to learn from him,
Mhm.
and then just had to go and get lessons from somebody else.
Because it was why you just wasn't
It
good at
just
teaching.
didn't work.
Yeah, I know
Yeah,
what you mean.
Like at all.
I had it before too. My dad tried to show me like on numerous occasions, growing up as a kid. There was always a guitar in the house,
Mhm.
and he never until I decided that I wanted to play. Every time he would try to show me, I'm like, I don't want to fucking learn that shit.
Yeah. Like I didn't realize how much work it was gonna be.
Yeah,
For a
it's-
little while.
yeah.
No.
I was really really good at playing like Rock Band and Guitar Hero.
Yeah,
It's like, oh, it's gonna be
the learning
kinda
curve is a
similar.
little less steep on those ones, huh?
Yeah.
I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
I was like, I
did-
shred on guitar here. I'm
I
gonna
can
kill
tell you
this.
how many students that I got like when I was teaching a lot of people. I think this was maybe like 10 years ago. I can't even tell you how many young students I had that like their parents would call me to come teach them, and then I would get in there like, so like, why do you want to start playing guitar? And they're like, oh, rock band. I got it on here right now. You want to hear me play this song? I'm like, so it was good for me at the time, business wise, because it inspired a lot of kids to play. You know,
Yeah.
it
Definitely.
made them feel like they could play with those 5 buttons. Now, when you played Guitar Hero, like, could you? Were you one of those guys that could play it on expert?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God! See, I could never do that.
Don't doubt him.
No, I mean, I'm
Dragon
impressed.
Force behind his back on expert.
I couldn't do that, but like every other song, it was
Damn,
either on hard or expert.
that's insane. I could never get past medium. I could do medium like comfortably.
Are you kidding me, Josh?
Yeah, I'm dead serious.
Loser.
This was after I could play like real guitar. I actually knew how to play, but I could never. I don't know.
Really?
I probably
Huh.
just didn't spend enough time doing it. That
You
was what
got
it was.
long ass fingers too.
I
I'd be
know.
like, come on now.
I know. I'm a fucking loser, dude.
You said it, not me. Just kidding. I did say it.
Bang, bang. Okay, so he tried to teach you. This guy tried to teach you
Yeah.
out by the pool a couple times. How many times did he try to teach
The
you?
older gentleman
There's
out
like-
by the pool.
Yeah. It was like 2 or 3 times. Like
Two or
one-
three times?
Yeah, one time we had just asked him. He brought his guitar to the pool, and he was just showing me some stuff
Yeah.
without me having a guitar.
Like some
and-
blues stuff or like what's just real basic shit?
Yeah, pretty much. It was just like, here's an A chord, here's an E major chord, that sort
Yeah.
of stuff. And then we ended up doing like a group lesson sort of thing
Okay.
where some other kids brought their guitars
Yeah.
to the pool, and we tried to play a little bit, and it didn't work out.
Yeah. I'm so opposed to group lessons, dude.
I don't
think
like them
they're
either.
That would be
fucking
overwhelming.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
really is overwhelming.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
taught a couple different summer camps where I've had like 6, 7, 8 kids at one time.
Jesus.
Trying to play
it's-
one chord.
It just sounds
Yeah.
like a cacophony of awful.
It really does. But luckily, those camps I had like 2 weeks to get through songs
Okay.
with them, so it wasn't like a week to do
Yeah.
3 songs. So it turned from they have no idea what the fuck they're playing to, oh, they kind of get
They kinda
these
get it
3
a little
songs.
bit.
Yeah,
That's good.
They can play them all the way through.
That's awesome.
That's cool that you guys experienced teaching other people music. That's got to be a really good feeling.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think not only because it's like it feels, you know, if you're gonna be a musician, it's extremely hard to turn that into any sort of financial thing. You know, it's like that's the biggest hurdle,
Yeah.
and I'm very glad that I've been able to not only to just make money from it at various points, but I think that it helped deepen my understanding of the instrument and just people in general. You know, I never, unless I had a student who specifically wanted to learn something, I always kind of just winged it, just going in
Yeah.
and just being like, all right, let's see if I can get through this. I felt like an imposter sometimes, honestly.
Yeah.
Like fuck, dude, I can play this. I can show you that I know how to play this, but my understanding of it is not. It's only like, it's not where I want it to be. you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very base level
Yeah.
sort of stuff. Even if you've been playing for years, you
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
You
There's-
understand how to do everything.
There's so much
Yeah.
else, especially when you're teaching somebody that's never learned before. It's kind of like it's a really interesting experience, you know, to actually show them like how to fret, you know, and like basic techniques like hammer-ons and pull-offs and trills and stuff. And you watch their fingers, and you're like, shit, dude, how am I teaching them the right technique? Am I doing it the right way? Have I been doing it wrong this whole time? There's all
Yeah.
sorts of like little things that it teaches you about yourself. But it's always been a really great experience. I love teaching.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
Sometimes, and then you get students.
And
that
then you
don't
get
give a
students
shit,
like,
Yeah.
but their parents keep paying you because
yeah, exactly.
it keeps them
Right
entertained
on.
for 30 minutes or an hour.
And yeah, exactly. And in that case, it's still even a good thing that even if they're not necessarily getting something from you, like musically, if they're not like becoming a master musician, it's still good to just to devote a certain amount of time each week to a discipline, even if it's
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, you can look at it as you're learning how to have people skills. I mean, you're just having
Oh,
a conversation
definitely.
with someone,
Yeah,
Absolutely.
pretty much.
which the youth lacks, it seems, these
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's a half hour where the especially with a young student, like they're off their phone or their iPad, they're not on the apps, they're actually sitting face to face with a real instrument.
Yeah.
And just talking for a half hour is it's good.
Agreed, man.
And it's somebody different from their parents,
Yeah.
where they talk to them all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
And then their teacher comes in for 30 minutes and it's somebody they see once a week.
Yeah, exactly. And they kind of like look up to you a little bit,
Yeah.
which is it's a good thing, you know.
Yeah, that's super cool. It's got to be exciting.
Yeah. Okay, so you learned so you started taking lessons from a really good teacher in the area.
Yeah, really, really good
Yeah.
teacher.
Was that right after? So you learned you took those 3 kind of lessons with that one dude that was a very prominent local musician, and then.
Yeah, it was a couple months after.
Okay.
Yeah,
Did you have a guitar at that time? Even?
yes, I had a guitar for a long time. It was
Oh, okay.
like a 3/4 or half size guitar.
Mm-hmm. Little baby.
Yeah, that my uncle had given me when I was like 2 years old or
Oh,
something
wow.
like that.
Early
Nice.
shredder.
Yeah. And I my parents have a story of where I was like headbanging with the guitar, like sitting in the kitchen,
Nice.
and
Love it.
I fell and hit the headstock on my head
Oh,
with the
man.
pins.
It's really headbanging now.
Yeah, and strings and everything, and I have this scar somewhere on my forehead
Oh, really? You still have it?
from hitting it, and so they're like, "Oh, that was to say the future, that you're going to be a guitar player, whatever."
That's awesome.
What a violent way to tell you.
Like super violent.
Yeah.
That's
That's
awesome.
funny.
You really
Yeah.
fucking headbanged from an
Yeah.
early age.
Yeah, I guess so. But then I took lessons for a couple years, and then we moved from Texas to Florida, and started taking classical lessons, and it was very different.
Yeah.
From
Did you
playing-
enjoy it more or less?
Ooh, I don't know.
It's so
very
much more
different.
discipline for the classical, so much more work that's involved in making those obscure and abstract shapes part of your muscle memory, which is totally
Yeah.
different from rock and roll and stuff.
Yeah, especially since you have to read the music.
Yeah, oh,
It's
that
not like-
too. Yeah, I neglected to mention that little
Yeah.
fact.
Because when you're playing like rock music, you can just kind of memorize it.
Yeah,
You read tab and it's all numbers.
yeah.
But then when you go to play it on stage, you don't have the numbers right in front of you, so you have to memorize it.
yeah,
But with classical music, you can have the paper right there, but you have to be able to read what it says because it's all like dots and shit. on
Which I
lines.
don't understand. Blows my damn mind that you can read that music and just play it immediately as you
right.
read it and continue on. I
Play it with,
cannot
like,
fathom that.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
Especially to meet people that have been doing it for years and
Yeah.
can just play these like super complicated songs that are 10 minutes long.
Even a song that you
Without
don't even
reading it.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's how it
wild,
is if
man.
you're like a session player out in LA. Like if you get called in to like score a film or something, I mean those people they're doing like 1 or 2 takes.
Yeah.
2 takes probably tops, just in case there's any mistakes. But I mean, they've never heard that music before, and they just right off the page,
Boom, killed it.
Bam!
You're expected to know how the fuck to play your instrument.
That's why you're fucking getting paid a couple $100
Yeah.
an hour.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
If only.
Yeah. So that's it. I'm impressed that you know how to do that, Seamus. I tried going back to school and learning how to read,
Mhm.
even after I'd already been teaching for years and playing and recording and all that. But it was just, I remember sitting in the classroom thinking, oh man, I was just so turned off by it. 'Cause
Right.
I didn't need to learn how to do it. I just wanted to do it to have that feeling of accomplishment. Like I can't
Mhm.
actually read music. But after the class was over, I was like, I never did it again. I don't even
there's-
know how to do it now. I forgot.
There's really no need for it.
Yeah,
you know, when you're
just
playing
one of those
rock
things.
music or the stuff that we do,
Yeah.
there's no
Yeah, there's no need
reason.
for it. Yeah, but then I remember thinking too. It was like that particular class was like a beginner class because that was what was teaching. You know, it was kind of a smaller college. Didn't really have a lot of music
Mhm.
there, but I remember most of the people in that class had never played before or were like super like beginner, and
Right.
just the curriculum, the way that they taught it, I was turned off by it, and I already knew how to fucking play.
Yeah.
So I was like, I couldn't even. I remember looking and could not even be able to imagine how you're gonna make a room full of good guitar players who are inspired to play, teaching them curriculum like this or teaching them how to read music first. It's like people that want to learn how to play guitar want to have fun, and there was like really no fun.
Right.
All the fun was sucked out of it. In
Yeah,
that
and if you're not
environment.
interested, you're not going to be motivated to learn
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's kind of is a reflection of college music programs all over, not just in that location. I think it's like
Yeah.
the curriculum, the way they teach should probably be a little different.
Yeah.
Maybe not at like Berkeley or MI at that level. If if you can already really fucking play and you're going in there, then that shouldn't be an issue to go through the monotony of learning.
Yeah,
like,
it's just
advanced
irrelevant
shit.
at that point.
But at a beginning level, dude, we should have just been like having more fun.
Yeah.
It would have been
Yeah.
a more fruitful experience.
Make the kid want to learn.
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah.
That's always the challenge
Yeah.
because most of them don't really care all that much about music.
Yeah.
So you have to get them interested.
Get them
Yeah.
pumped.
Yeah.
It's discipline, but for me it never really felt like discipline. Like I took a couple, like when I was 15 or 16, took a few lessons from this guy, and I remember he would teach me a song, and then I would go home and immediately master the song, and then just start working on the next thing. So there was discipline involved, but it didn't feel like discipline to me. It's never felt like, okay, I got to sit down and practice now.
Yeah.
Like, I never
Yeah.
felt like that.
That's definitely the way it should be then.
Yeah.
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 Exactly.
It shouldn't feel like a punishment.
No.
Have to
Yeah,
practice
I think for
guitar.
a lot of people
There's really
it
no
does,
reason
though.
for it. Yeah.
You know, especially when you're trying to break that barrier and become like proficient at it. It's
Mhm.
like there's a lot of years of sucking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still in those years.
Suck years. Yeah, it's just hard, dude. It's a hard thing to do.
It is difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still perfecting the art, which I never will.
It's impossible. It's a endless journey.
Yeah.
You know, like I really want to learn how to do sweep arpeggios right now. That's I'd like to. Those are like there's a couple final techniques that I'd like to master to become like all around like not have any techniques that I don't know. And sweep arpeggios and the legato runs, I'd like to be able to be more proficient at those.
Yeah.
You can kind of do legato runs, but sweeping, like the super fast sweep picking, I just can't do it. I could do it for a time when I was younger, when I would practice.
Could you?
I was practicing a lot more than I was practicing 7 or 8 hours a day.
Damn.
I was like 19 and 20.
That's a long time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
that's a
dude.
job.
I mean, dude, I loved it. I would get high and then I would just practice for that long.
Yeah.
You know, really. But and sometimes sober too. Sometimes on
Yeah.
caffeine. But
No, high all the time.
no, yeah, not high.
Just 24/7.
24/7,
28-9.
28/9.
I guess my main goal is to be able to play what I want to play while I'm singing.
Yeah, that's
a
dude.
good
That's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
It's really
I love doing the tapping and singing. It's just some patterns I want to do. I can't push my mind to do it, and I get really frustrated.
Yeah.
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 It is difficult.
Yeah.
I think you just got to keep pushing through and just realize that any time you can do something on the guitar or vocally, it's not because you can't do it. It's because you just haven't practiced it enough.
Yeah.
Like every big breakthrough that you make is just from practice. That's like if you put in the work, you're gonna be able to do it.
Agree.
It's difficult to figure out what you want to put that work in sometimes. You know.
I've kind of noticed over time when it comes with riffs that I want to play, I can hear them in my head. I'll practice. I'll put them down for a day or two.
Yeah.
And it's like my brain needed that mental break from it. And even though I wasn't thinking about it, I was figuring it out in that time. And I go back and play it and I nail it.
Yeah.
I don't know why that happens. It's so weird that happens.
Yeah.
It's like my brain needed to just evaluate the patterns with my hand. And then
Yeah.
I play it and it happens.
Yeah,
There was a scientific research study done on that sort of thing where they said that thinking about practicing a certain thing for an extended amount of time is better for you than practicing for a short amount of time.
That makes sense because
physically
it's a
doing it.
mind thing. I mean,
Yeah.
your mind is letting you control everything you do.
Yeah.
That
I
makes
feel like
sense.
that's something that doesn't get talked about a lot in like the music creator community or songwriting community is just the value of putting something down for a day or two or sometimes even longer. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just going through that same thing last week, trying to come up. Was really trying to work on something and trying to develop it and really obsessing about it.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I'm like listening to it and it's just not sounding good. I'm like, fuck, I made all these changes. But then it's like just putting it down and coming back a few days later, it's just made all the difference.
Yeah, it's
Same
weird
thing
how that
happened
happens.
with Einstein when he came up with this theory of relativity. He was working in the patent office,
Mm-hmm.
plugging away at that for I think almost a decade, if I'm not mistaken.
Something like that.
And then literally he was about to he decided he was going to give up on it. It was too much for him.
Huh.
And then he fell asleep and woke up and then he found the answer. That's how that happened.
Yeah.
Wow. So yeah,
That's cool.
letting a little bit of a gestation period is a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't focus it on your mind where you just stress her out because you can't force something that's going to be good, I think.
Yeah, it's got to come. There's got to
Yeah.
be a certain level of
It
natural.
needs to come to you, yeah.
involved.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like a good podcast, my guys.
It does.
My ladies. Oh, my
My lady.
darling.
That's going to be it for this episode of the Lost in Phoenix podcast. Thank you for listening.
Thanks for
I
not
don't-
listening.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. Thanks for listening to this episode. If you want to listen to other ones, we have more. Go back and listen to the other ones where we talk about drugs and a bunch of other shit. We'll catch you next time, I guess.
Catch and release.
Bye.